Good morning and good afternoon to everyone who has joined in with us today. We thank you for joining in, and we hope that you have a great session today with a lot of information being shared by one of our eminent speakers, Mr. Mohammad Ramzan Khan. So over to you, Mr. Khan. He will introduce himself, right?
Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mohammad Ramzan. So I'm going to present this webinar to you. So this webinar is all about ethical hacking in the career opportunity. So during this session, I'm pretty sure that you will get a lot of new information. You'll get a lot of like ideas how to move toward the cybersecurity career. So before we start our presentation, so let me introduce myself. Just a short intro about myself. So I'm in IT field in information technology since 1999. So I have achieved the various certifications, the various vendors like Cisco, uh, SC Council, then RSA. So for last 7 to 8 years, I'm purely working in cybersecurity. So I'm working in a different area of information security, like network security, system security, endpoints, and then move to the cybersecurity operations center. So currently my job role is SOC Manager. I'm working as a cybersecurity operations center manager. So I'm leading IR process investigation on all these areas. So that's about me. So let's start with our agenda, basically what we're going to cover today. So first we'll focus on cybersecurity. What is cybersecurity? What is the importance of cybersecurity, the important role, why we need it? All these things we discussed during the cybersecurity presentation. Then we'll talk about the COVID-19 situation, that how the COVID-19 situation has impacted the information system or information technology field, and how the cybersecurity is basically booming or again increasing during this age. And then we'll discuss about the ethical hacking, the main topic for the today, that ethical hacking, what is ethical hacking, the different phases, and how to move towards certification track, and what is after the ethical hacking, then what are the job opportunities available once you are done with the ethical hacking. And during this session, I will also show you one small demo, a short demo that basically I'll show you live hacking Windows 10, and you will enjoy that demo session as well. Then we discuss about the job opportunities in the market, the different job opportunities in the region, like in India, in Middle East, in Africa. I will show you some statistics, available jobs, and how to search for such kind of jobs over the internet, and what is the salary range or average salary for these job roles. And then we'll discuss about the basically the career path progress, then what are different career path that you have and how you can move into how can you achieve your target career path. So that is about our agenda. So I hope that you will enjoy this session and you get a lot of information that will help you a lot in your career. Let's start with the cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is very, very important. When we're talking about the cybersecurity, comes with our mind, okay, we have to secure our environment. So companies spend the money because when they see the return on investment, when they see that if we're going to implement this technology, this can give us some financial benefits or business benefits, or we can achieve the business goal, then industry spend the money on the cybersecurity. Just in this slide, you can see that stats are given, like 1 in every 6 crime globally is conducted by cyber thieves. So it's mean that every 6 crime that is to the cyber, that is basically done by the cyber thieves. It's mean that information system technology information technology involved in the crimes as well. So millions of new malwares are discovered every day. The people, they are basically do engineering, malware engineering or reverse engineering, or they do some unethical activities, or they do some research, some testing. So they are creating the millions of malwares on daily basis, and these malwares, when it reach to the basically the people, they don't they basically work against the organization's business goal. They have their different objectives, so they use these malware to gain the access to attack on the target organizations. And then if you see that 1% global earnings are lost to cyber criminals, so approximately $600 billion USD per year are lost because of cyber attack. It's a big amount, 600 billion. It's a very, very big amount. Even if it's a 1%, for 1%, it's a small, but when you do the calculation for for the entire year, so it is 600 billion. So that is this is equal to the worth of three big companies like Facebook, Amazon, and you can say LinkedIn. So this is equal to the worth of these companies. So it's a big amount, even 1%, but big numbers. So if you see the global scenario of cybersecurity, the region-wise, and you can see North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, Latin America, Middle East, and Africa. So you can see that there's a huge growth of cybersecurity. And we are expecting that 13.6% in the CRG growth in the next 5 to 6 years. So the duration that is given 2018 to 25, so we have still 5 years. So you will see that a lot of growth in these areas. So especially in Asia Pacific, there's a lot of opportunities are there, a lot of growth in cybersecurity, so that you can target, the audience can target the market while they're searching for the jobs. Another chart is showing that see the if you it's a comparison chart. Like in 2017, the companies was basically the market, the cybersecurity market was very low, but slowly a market was booming. So see here, the prediction is in 2025. You can see it's a very high. So what are the industries are spending more money, spending more, allocating more budget for cybersecurity? You can say aerospace industry, aerospace and defense, business and finance, public sector, retail, healthcare, and so many other organizations or industries are there. They are spending, they are allocating a lot of budget for the cybersecurity, because to survive in the business now it is required to spend more money on the cybersecurity, because data is an asset of that for the company now. Earlier the asset the definition was different, but nowadays data is a critical asset for any company. If data is stolen, data is compromised, so there could be a big loss. So therefore, companies are spending a lot of money, lot of effort, and they're hiring a lot of resources to protect the data, and they can achieve the business goals. So just another overview of cybersecurity scenario. If you look here, cybersecurity market size set to exceed USD 400 billion by 2026. So it's a big market again. It's a big market shares. Growth rate approximately 12.2%. Again, it's a big number. The annual cybercrime report estimates the 6 billion USD that I have already shown to you. So it's again a big number because of cyber criminal activities. And then cloud is one of the more like most adaptive, you can say most popular technology that we are using. And we feel that cloud computing is very secure, but actually it is not. So we have to take care while using a cloud computing. Even security is there, the provider, they do the maximum, but still threats are there. So cloud is one of the basically emerging technology, and companies are spending a lot of money to secure the cloud computing environment in different way. Another interesting news and exciting news, a good news for us, that in 2019 there was zero unemployment rate for the cybersecurity people. There was no news that cybersecurity people are terminated or fired from any organizations. There was no news, and we are expecting the same thing in the 2020. Even during the COVID-19, new hiring might be hard for some time because of budget, because of some business was not going up, business stopped because of COVID-19 situation. So, but still, we never heard, there's no news about unemployment for the cybersecurity experts. So it's a good news for cybersecurity people. They're planning to start their career, or they're already in this career. So their jobs are secure, and they are pretty good in that area. So cybersecurity job market trend, the prediction was given in 2014 that 3.5 million unfilled cybersecurity jobs by 2021. So it became true, because still a lot of opportunities are available. So it's mean the prediction which was done in 2014, so it became true. So another thing, the cybersecurity unemployment rate is at zero, as I explained to you that in 2019 unemployment rate was zero. It was a good news for us, and we're expecting the same thing in 2020 and in the coming years as well. The cybersecurity engineers are earning a good amount as well. If you compare the salary with the other fields, so $140,000 per year is a good amount. It's not a small amount. If you calculate, that's approximately 11,000 USD per month. It is just see, the different job roles could be there. It's not that for the beginners. It is might be for the senior people for the senior positions, but this is average salary range for the cybersecurity expert. So you can say it's a good earning as well. And then in India alone, so we are expecting 1 million cybersecurity professionals by end of 2020. It's mean again, India is a big market for the cybersecurity professionals. So the people they're starting their career in cybersecurity, they can target Indian market to get the new opportunities, and these opportunities are well paid, and these opportunities are secure as well. That's the market trend that we can see in cybersecurity. Again, if you see in the COVID-19 crisis, uh, so cyber expected to shift cybersecurity spending by industry. So we are expecting that many industries will spend more money on the cybersecurity. That is why, because these industries like health and care, banking, finance sectors, these industries are basically involved in COVID-19 situations a lot. Like health and care, they're taking the treatment. They are basically giving treatment to the people. They're taking care of the people. They're doing a lot of tests, remote tests, or it's so many activities are this. Therefore, these are the busiest industry during the COVID-19 situation. These industries are willing to spend more money, and there are a lot of organizations. Those are basically funding these organizations for whatever the facilities they can provide for the cybersecurity. So we're expecting that healthcare system, banking and financial sectors, and technology companies they will spend a lot of money in cybersecurity to secure their facilities, secure their data, and secure their information as well. So this is another reference slide for the COVID-19. Let's move to hacking. So hacking, it's a very exciting keyword for the newcomer, for the students, for the audience. So when we say hacking, so a lot of things come in our mind. Oh, for Facebook hacking. Okay, let me try to gain the access of the Facebook account. Social like LinkedIn profile hacking. And okay, let me try to crack the password. So mostly when we say hacking, so negative thinking, negative thoughts come in our mind. So you always think that hacking is a negative. True, it is negative. Why? Because any activity that we do without authorization, that is considered a crime. So therefore, it's not a good idea to do something uh, like do the cracking, do the password cracking, do the again unauthorized access to a system. So that is a crime. So it is not a good practice. But still, hacking making us very excited. Hacking basically is something that open a new opportunities for us in the market. You have enough skills of hacking, so there are a lot of opportunities available in the market that we can grab, because organizations need the hackers. Organizations need the people. They are expert in the hacking techniques. They are expert in the tools. So they can hire them. They can do the assessment of their network. They can identify the gaps in security controls, and they can go for the fixing. They can fix these gaps after the recommendations from such kind of people. So hackers have the different classes like black hat hackers, gray hat, and white hat. So black hat basically people, the most of the time they do the destructive activity. So always they try to damage. They have the extraordinary knowledge. They have the expert skills in the computing technology, not only the computing technology in the computing environment. They understand the infra, they understand the hardware very well, they understand the programming very well, and they understand the basically the latest technology like web application, database, and VPN, such kind of technologies they understand very well. So black hats. Then gray hat hackers. These people most of the time work as a consultant. They try to secure them. They give the suggestions to the company. They basically plan the company security controls. They understand the black hat hacker activities. And these people most of the time they work as a consultant. Then white hat hackers. These are people they work offensive for the offensive activities and are defensive as well. So what they do, they understand, they know the black hat techniques, the tools, the method they're using, and on the base of that, they know that how to prevent, how to stop such kind of activity as well. So these are people. Most of the time they're working as analysts. These are company. Most of the time, company hires white hat to make sure that the networks or organizations are secured. So ethical hacking. So hacking is something that is negative. We consider hacking is a negative. So ethical hacking, that basically making our hacking like positive, like with authorizations. When we do the hacking activity with authorization, so that is called ethical hacking. For example, I want to do the SQL injection attack against that website abc.example.com. So if I have the authorization to do this activity, then this is ethical. If I don't have the authorization to do this activity, then this is hacking. This is unethical. That is considered as a crime. So ethical hacking is a basically practice of using hacking tools. Thousands tools are available that we can use, trick and techniques. There are millions of techniques are available. The different methods are available that we use to identify the weaknesses on the target networks, and then basically do the testing of the target organizations. So it is very big. If you see the ethical hacking, it's a very big term, it's a very big area that it covers. The scope of ethical hacking, that's a very big. It depends on the organization structure. It depends on the technology environment of the organization. So it's the scope of ethical hacking is very big. So some scope few scopes are given in like web applications. So the ethical hacker basically do the pen testing, do the vulnerability assessment for web applications. System hacking, they try to do hack the system. They try to identify the gaps on the target systems like Microsoft Windows, Linux, Mac, then web servers, because web application runs on the web servers. Web servers, it could be closed source, it could be open source. So they try to identify the gaps in the web servers. Then wireless networks, as people they don't want to fix themselves with a desk, so they want the connectivity of the network while moving, while roaming here and there in the building or in the office building. So therefore, wireless also becoming a famous technology, famous method to communicate with the network. And for the attackers, for the ethical hackers, it's easy to attack, and but it is not easy to compromise. It depends how the security control implement, but it is easy to attack. So ethical hackers do the testing of wireless network as well. And social engineering, social engineering, there's a very well like a well-known quote is there. There's no patch for human stupidity, because women could be trapped anytime. So this could be blackmailing, there could be such kind of trojans, or might be some other activity like that can convince a user to do the activity, perform such kind of actions that can give the damage to the organization. Like might be someone is under the burden of the financial, someone is facing a financial crisis, and they want to keylogger on the C-level management PCs, or might be steal some data of the organization. So social engineering, it's playing a very important role while doing the pen testing. So companies, organizations are spending a lot of money to train their employees. Therefore, there's a well-known term we use for cybersecurity that is called ETA. It's mean education, training, and awareness program. So companies always allocate the budget for such kind of activities. That's a prevention against the social engineering. So that's basically ethical hacking. In ethical hacking, so ethical hacking, or when we learn ethical hacking tools, techniques, and methods, so basically we're preparing ourselves for a different type of job roles. Like one job role, that is basically you can be the part of red team, you can be the part of purple team, or might be the blue team. Now these are three basically groups of in cybersecurity we have. Basically, these are the people, they always offensive, they do the offensive activity, though they don't care about that network will be damaged, the network will be compromised, might there be financial loss. They don't care about that. These are the people, they basically do the offensive activity, and they do some they get some approval, because these are people that companies engage, company hire them, companies pay them on hourly basis. And then these are people that identified the vulnerabilities, discover the vulnerabilities, and compromise the vulnerabilities, and prepare the report and submit the report to the organization. So these are the people, mostly the pen tester. So there are different type of pen testing. Black box, there's a pen testing, there is a white box, and gray box pen testing is it, that we'll discuss in the final slide of the webinar. So I will explain to you the different pen testing types. So they do the social engineering, also they perform the web application attack. So purple team, basically these are the security consultants. They provide the recommendations on the basis of ongoing hacking activity. They propose the solution to the company, but they basically help the organizations to secure their network. And blue team, that is a purely defensive teams. These are people basically they defend against the red team activities. So these are people, they understand the red team activities, they monitor, they detect, they initiate the IR process, and they implement they guide or implement the best controls or to prevent such kind of activities. And they also do the threat hunting. It's been proactive. Before that, they try to identify the gaps before the hackers discover, identify those gaps. So that's the basically job of blue team. Very interesting job roles, very interesting skill set that these people have. So to learn, to understand the hacking, you need to learn 5 phases very well. So there is saying that to beat hacker, you need to think like hacker. If you want to beat the hacker, you must your approach, your thinking will be like hacker. It means that you must understand what techniques, methods, or approach hackers are using. If you understand approach, the tools and method or techniques that attackers are using, then you can secure yourself. You can do the best. You can do the maximum security for organization. There's no 100% security, but the maximum. Right. So most of the time attackers are following the common approach, and that is that common approach is discussed or delivered during the ethical hacking training program. So there are 5 phases of hacking, 5 phases of ethical hacking. The first phase, that is called reconnaissance. It is called information gathering phase. Okay. Then second, scanning. The next one, gain access, maintaining access, and covering trust. These are 5 phases, and this is a common approach. Almost all the hackers all over the world, they follow the same technique, same approach. Because without that, without information gathering, without scanning, they cannot gain the access. So let's discuss these phases one by one in little detail, so we can get the idea. Very constant information gathering. In other words, we can say information gathering. Before you launch the attack, before you plan the attack your target, so it is compulsory, it's mandatory that you must know about your target. You must do some profiling of your target. Even the real world, if you see the even the countries or the groups when they attack on each other, so first they want to know the security strength of the target. If you know the security strength, if you know what type of control the target network has, target organization has, then it is easy for you to plan your attack so that can bypass this control, that you can hide yourself and you can achieve your objective. So reconnaissance is a very important phase of hacking, so that attackers or ethical hackers try to collect the maximum information about the target. So what are the methods they are using? There are two methods that we use. Ethical hacker use. One is active, another is passive. Now, active is when you're talking to the target network. When you talk, for example, you are making telephone call to the target network. This is active. You are browsing the target website, and from there you're sending the queries. Or might be there's a chat options available that you're chatting you're chatting someone from the target network. Okay. Then might be personally you visit the target office. So this is active. So it means that when your information is logged on the target side, when the target is aware of your activities, they will notice or they will consider this one as hacking activity or not. It depends on what criteria they have decided to uh, like create the log or to consider this activity the malicious activity. It depends on the criteria. But when you are talking, when you are interacting directly with the target network, so this is considered the active information gathering. So second, it is a passive. Passive means that you will try to learn about a target network, that is information that is publicly available. Like maybe you can browse the social media page of the company. You can talk to the company employees. You can connect yourself with the company over the social media. You can go to a different like websites like archive.org, which can give information about that target. You can search over the Google. So it's mean the information which is available publicly. When you collect the information using that source, that is called passive. So in this case, your information is not logged. Your information is not sent to the target networks. They are not aware of this thing that someone is doing the profiling of their network. So that is called passive information gathering or passive reconnaissance. So very important phase for the hacking. If your information gathering is information that you have collected, it is accurate, then there are a lot of chances that your attack will be successful. So next phase of hacking, that is called scanning. Scanning is something that we give us the more information about target network, like deep diving to measure the security strength and discover the door to the Intel. So that, say, assume that uh, I came to a company, for example, EC Council head office is in, okay, just assume that they are locating in India somewhere, okay. We know the location. Now want to see that how much, the city, the building, number of floors on the building, number of entry point, okay, the number of elevator they're using, security guards, where the security guards are locating, where the CCTV cameras are installed, where are the other hurdles, where are the emergency exit that we can use to bypass authentication, bypass a security check. So that is basically card scanning. So when we try to learn in detail to measure the security strength of the company, to see the what services the company is offering, so that is called scanning. So there are different type of scanning we have. One is called network scanning. In network scanning, the objective of network scanning is to identify the live system. So live system in the system that those are reachable from outside, because as hacker, as attacker will attack from the outside using the internet. So attacker will use the internet to launch the attack. So therefore it is compulsory to identify the machine those are accessible over the internet. So first thing, identify the live systems. So might be there are 10 systems are live, the web applications or might FTP or some other applications are live. Perfect. We identify, okay, these number of machines are live. The next, we have to identify what ports are open there. As you know that in the ports, we have two type of communication. One is TCP, second is UDP. TCP is a connection oriented, UDP is a connectionless communication protocol. So we identify the ports because ports are mapped for the mapped against the services. So we identify the port. For example, I came to know port 22 is open. It's mean that if I send SSH request, that system will accept it because port 22 is dedicated for reserved for the SSH protocol. If port 25 is open, it's mean this is SMTP. So it's mean this is a mail server that we can try some mail server related activities. We can try some command of the mail server. Then if it's a port it's a mean web server. It's a port 110. It's mean this is NF0. So it's mean that ports basically are very important to identify what service is running. Sometimes what happen, if well-known ports are used, perfect. We understand the service name like 0 to 1 to 100, 1 to 1023 port. These are well known. So these are well-known services. These are well-known ports. We understand immediately. We got the idea. We get the idea immediately. But if company has changed the default port to something some other ports, then we need to map the service. For that purpose, what we do the banner grabbing. So banner grabbing will help us to identify exactly what service is running on that port. We can see the banner, we can see the response, and from that response we can get the idea that what service is running against that port. And after that, we try to scan for the vulnerability. Assume that there's a port 80 Apache server is running, it is HTTP, and backend Apache is there. So what is the next thing? We need to identify what vulnerabilities available on the Apache server. So Apache is a 2, Apache 1.1. According to that, we'll try to discover the vulnerabilities of that Apache server. So we can do the vulnerability search using the internet, or we can use the tools to identify the vulnerability of the target application. Once we are done with it, we'll try to map the networks. So just how the communication is happening. Okay, it might be first traffic will go to the firewall, then firewall switch will go to the internal router or internal switch. From there, it will go to the end user. So this is basic mapping. So you'll make the map that will then your logical mapping will be there as well. Physical connectivity, you try to determine how the device is connected physically. Then logically, the logical basically path could be different from the physical path. Or so basically logical path that tells you that how the communication is happening. If you send any packet, how your data will route in the network. So once you are done with that, you will prepare your proxies. Proxies will help you to hide yourself. The purpose, you don't want to launch the attack blindly. If you launch the attack blindly, then what will happen? So it is possible that your information is recorded. So your information is recorded. They can trap, they can prevent, they can stop your activity. And once you prepare the proxies, like you can use different proxies, you can use a VPNs to hide yourself. Once it is done, then you will launch the attack. So that is about scanning. It's a very important phase. Again, it is a pre-attack phase. This not the attack phase. Information gathering and scanning both are considered the pre-attack phase. And once we are done with the scanning, the next phase will be gain access. Now, this is a point where attackers or ethical hackers try to get into the system. They try to gain the access of the target system. How to gain the access of target system? Like I got the application name, I got the authentication, like might be authentication window. So next step, I need to get the user accounts. I need to crack the password to gain the access. So here, what are techniques attackers or ethical hacker use to gain the access? That is password attacks. We, as attackers, we try to attack on the passwords. We crack the passwords. We, in the password attacks, there are different type of attacks that we can launch. It could be a brute force attack that can try all the possibilities. It could be a dictionary-based attack. In the dictionary-based attack, what attackers do? Attackers basically create the word list. Might be they got some idea about the password, they know the password length, password strength. On the base of that, they can create the dictionary, and then they try the password one by one from that list. Then malware, another technique. Attacker use a social engineering. Attacker use search engine optimization technique or click deck techniques that basically convince a user to execute the malicious activity. Those are shared by the attacker. So malware basically is a malicious software, is a malicious code that attackers spread over the internet or attackers send to the user using the emails, using different channels, messengers like WhatsApp. So, and they convince the user that this is a very useful thing. This is very attractive. Please open it. So once the user opens, the system will be compromised. So this is a demo that I will show you after explaining the 5 phases of hacking. And here I will create a malware. Then malware I will spread over the internet. I will send to the victim. The time victim will execute immediately, or remote access is given to attacker of victim PC. Then SQL injection. Most of the web applications are connected to database. It could be Oracle, it could be SQL, or it could be MS SQL, it could be MySQL, or it could be MongoDB. So web applications are connected with this database, and when we try to bypass this authentication, when try to send our query directly to a database, so that is called SQL injection. So attackers or ethical hacker also try to do the SQL injection. They try to modify the record in the database tables. They try to modify, they try to basically add a new record. They try to delete the database tables. They try to bypass authentication. So all these methods are called SQL injection. So these are the different attempts or different methods attacker use to gain the access to a target network. So maintaining access, this is basically something that attackers do, malicious activity on the target machine. Like intention was to gain the access to steal the data. So when attackers are inside your network, attackers gain the access of your system or victim system. So they will steal the data. What data they can steal? Might be the personal data is available. It's accounts people or finance people. The financial data will be there. If it's end user, might be end user has saved the password on the PC, so they can steal that one. Might be credit card information. The internet banking detail is available. So such kind of information attackers can steal once they gain the access. After that, another activity that attacker can do, that is install the keyloggers. So keylogger basically it's a malicious application. It's a malicious hardware. It could be hardware, it could be software. If it's a software, then malicious software that could record all the keystrokes that you are typing. You are sending to the system all the keystrokes these applications will record. If it's hardware, any instruction that's sent from keyboard to a system, that hardware basically log it. So in this case, the example in the screenshot, you can see that there is showing that username field is there and password is there, domain is there. So when the user type the username, you can see in the keylogger, you can see there's a written username is written there. When the user press the tab for move into the password field, and tab keyword is highlighted. When user put the password, and password is also, even in the password field we can see only the dots, we can see only the dots, but keylogger will record the actual keys, those are sent to the system. And then tab key again to move to the next input field, and that's a domain. So you can see the each and every key that is used by the user, it is recorded. So that's a keylogger example. Then another activity that attacker can perform, that is wipe the storage. This is attack against high availability. Might be attackers format the hard drive, wipe the storage, that data is no more available for the user. And then might be another activity that attacker can perform, that is crash applications. The genuine legitimate application that is required for the business, attackers can crash those applications. The result, you have to reinstall that applications, and it will take again a long time to do restore your system. So these are the activities attacker can perform once they are inside the system. When they gain the access, they can perform such kind of activities. Important phase of hacking: when attackers are done their desired activities, they have stolen data, they have stolen the keystrokes, they gain whatever they were looking for, and now this is time to leave the target system. So while leaving target system, so it is required to make sure that tracks are not there, that if investigator do the investigation, they will not able to trace the hacker activity, they will not able to trace the activity. So what is the commonly used method that attacker use? That is clear the logs. What they do, because once you gain the access, logs are enabled, so it record each and every activity. Okay, this file is deleted, file is modified, account logged in, account log out. Okay, so partitions formatted, applications restart. So all this information is recorded. So attackers, they gain the access to log files, and then they delete their actions from the log files. So that is referred to the clear the track. So the different methods are there. Attackers use clear the logs. They use a VPN as well. Once the benefit of using VPN, so when investigations are happening, so they cannot trace the actual source of that activity. So once they try to trace, when they try to investigate, they will get the information about the VPN server, VPN IP addresses, and it is difficult for the investigator to reach the actual source of that activity. So these are the 5 phases of hacking. You need to understand very well, because these 5 phases you have to use in your day-to-day life. Once you are on board, once you got an opportunity, so these are the activities that you have to perform on a regular basis. If you are an analyst, or you are a pen tester, or you are working as a security consultant, or you are taking care of network security or system security, so you must understand these things very well. And the tools used by the attacker, the tool used for such kind of activity, you must understand all these things very well. So if you understand these things very well, it means that you are too good in your area. So now, iLabs environment. The most beautiful thing in the EC Council course is that EC Council courses are 70 to 80% of hands-on. And when it comes to hands-on training programs, it doesn't mean that we just learn the 5 phases of hacking: information gathering, scanning, gaining access, maintain access, and then clear the tracks. So that's all. No. In these, when you start the learning, when you start the courses, for each course, as I told you, that 70 to 80% hands-on. It means whatever you are learning, you will test it in a live environment. The live environment basically is designed by the IC Council, which is cloud-based access, and this is called iLabs. It's a virtual lab environment that is designed by the IC Council for the courses. And as per the course, you will find the lab environment. For example, for the ethical hacking course, you need to work with the Kali Linux, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, Android, Ubuntu, Server 2016, and Server 2012. So you need to work with these operating system. So these operating system already prepared, already available on the iLabs environment. So chapter by chapter or topic by topic, you will do the exercise. I'm going to show you a small demo of that how to gain the access of Windows 10 using the Kali Linux. First, I will prepare malware. I will prepare a malicious code. Then I will spread that code using the web server. And then from the victim machine, I will execute that malware. When the malware is executed, you will see that so victim basically automatically connected to the attacker PC. I'm going to show you this exercise or this demo. So you need to access the iLab environment that I'm going to show you. This is iLab environment. Okay, if you see here, very beautiful design. The instructions are available, environment is available. If you click on resources, in the resources you will find all the VM that was shown in the slide. Server 2012 is it, Windows 10, Windows 8, Kali Linux, Ubuntu, and Android. Okay, and then instructions are there. Instruction basically lets you know that how to perform the what basically you're going to do, and then step-by-step guide is there to perform these exercises. I will move to the basically the demo. As I told you, I'm going to compromise the Windows 10 machine. So here I will exploit Windows 10. We'll try to exploit the VNC and gain the access to the Windows victim PC. That's the Windows 10. You know that VNC is basically a software that most of the admins use for the remote administration purpose. We can view the remote desktop. We can execute the applications. So this is a VNC. So it's open source applications. We are going to exploit this during our demo. So in this, we will use two machines, Windows 10 that will act as a victim, and Kali Linux, which will be attacker machine. So first, I need to log on the Kali Linux to prepare my malware. Once malware is prepared, so then I will publish over the internet, over the web server, and then I will move into the Windows 10 machine. From there, I will execute that malware. Once the malware is executed, so we'll gain the access. See here in the instruction, you can see username, passwords, commands. The command you have to type, everything is given there. You don't need to worry while doing the practice, while doing the hands-on exercises. You don't need to worry about the manual. It is already available. You can copy and paste the commands as well. I'll move to resources, that is Kali Linux first, to prepare my malware. So username is root. So password TOR. So I am inside the Kali Linux. So now I need to open a terminal, bash access of the Kali Linux. So I can right click on our desktop, then open terminal. So I'm going to prepare a malicious code malware that basically spread. This is basically exploit that I will share over the web server. So for this, I'll write the command. Command is written here just for your reference. I'm going to type it manually. So I will say msf, then -p to get the period. This is for Windows because Windows 10 is our victim. So this it's a Windows operating system. It's a Linux operating system. This thing we learn during our information gathering. While we do the scanning of the network, we learn about the target environment. So it's a Windows machine with a major operator. This is a keyword that we use, and we are using creating a payload or creating exploit for the reverse connection. That is a reverse underscore TCP, because we execute the TCP, then minus in double hyphen, it's a platform. Then platform is Windows. Architecture is x86. Sorry for keyboard. x86 minus it is file of the executable. And localhost, this is the IP address of our Kali Linux. Let me show you the IP address of Kali Linux. Open terminal. Another terminal I will open. So if config, you see the IP address of our target attacker machine, that is 10.10.10.11. So this is the IP address of the attacker. So I'm going to put as a localhost or 10.10.10.11. Then local port, on which port we want to accept the connection, that is 444. An output file that I want to save the output of this command into root desktop, and the name I will give that test.txt. This is a name that I want to save. So this command basically prepare malware for me, exploit for me. So this exploit, then I will move into the web server, and then I will send over the internet. See, it is created. The payload size is here. It's 33 bytes, and final size of exe file, that is 7380 bytes are there. Now I have to move this file again. Instructions are written here. If you follow the manual, you will not face any challenge. Once it's created, after that we have to create a new directory under the document root of the web server, mkdir, This is a command in Linux we use to create a directory /var www and then HTML. This is a document root for the web server in Apache environment. Okay, so I'll create a directory with the name share. So directory is created. So now what I will do, I will change the permissions for the directory. So okay, so how to change the permission? Use the command ch minus capital. Capital basically for the recursive. I'll put the permission 7. This means full permission for the owners. Okay, then 5 read and execute permission for the group. Another 5 read and execute permissions for the others. And I'll put the directory name that is /var www.html and share. So permissions are changed for this directory. Now I will change the ownership as well because by default owner of this directory the root. I want to give the ownership to the www data because this is a username that we have, and I want to change the group ownership as well to www data. So let me do ch own. This command basically change the ownership. The username I will say www hyphen data colon the group name www hyphen data and then our directory name. So this will change the ownership for the our new created directory. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll move the test.exe from root desktop to the this folder. So I will say mv root desktop test, and I'll move into the newly created directory that is share, which is moved. So now I have to start the Apache service. It means that I have to run a web server on my local machine. So I will say service Apache to start. So what I have done here, I have created the payload. Then that payload I put on the web server, document root of the web server, and then I start the web service. Okay, now I need to start the listener because listener once the files are executed, so 100 machines are there over the internet. If we spread over the social media, if we spread over the email, any method we can use. So if we send this link to the thousands of users, million of users, so anyone who click on that, so listener will be there that basically will accept the connection from the client. So then we can specify the single target. The target want to compromise. The target want to do the like some activities on the target machine. So then I will start the listener. To start the listener, I need to Metasploit framework. So I will use like my MSF console. So if you use a tab, you'll get it. Okay, MSF console. So now it will start MSF console Windows, and then I will use the different parameters to start the list on my on this machine. It will take few seconds. Okay, now we are inside the MSF Metasploit framework. You can say there are 1,730 exploits available, 990 auxiliary auxiliaries are available, 300 posts are there, 509 payloads, 40 encoders. So many things are available. So it's a very big environment to do the pen testing. So now I will use that command use multi handler. So this is basically the command I will use. So I'll move into the handler. So now I'll set the payload. I'll set payload. We have done early Windows. Meta operator reverse underscore TCP. So want to set the payload for the reverse TCP connection. Like the payload is set. Now set lhost. So lhost is our localhost IP, localhost IP that 10.10.10.11, right? Then we have to set the local port as well. Set lport equal. Sorry, equal is not required here. 444. So then we use the command run. So it will basically start our listener. So listener is started. So now what we have to do, we have to move to the Windows 10, and from there we'll access the website that we have created, like it is 10.10.10.11, and we'll execute that test.exe file. Once the file is executed, and you will see that we'll gain the access of Windows 10 machine using the Kali Linux. I'm going to move Windows 10. So here username and password is written here, so you don't need to worry about the manual. So it is there. So once you have the access to iLab environment, so you can follow these instructions. Capital P A $$, W01. So we are in Windows 10. I will open a browser, Google Chrome. So http colon // 10.10.10.11. This is our Kali Linux IP address. The active name is shared. So you can see that we have test.exe file which we created and we publish. So this IP address 10.10 in real world, so you will not use your private IP addresses. So you have to use static IP address, or you have to use a URL. Otherwise, if you're going to use the private IP addresses, it will not work because you are behind the firewall and the private IP addresses are not routable in the real world. So you will use static IP or you will use the FQDN to do such kind of activities. I will download the test.exe file. So we have to convince a user that this is something very useful for you. This is something which you was looking for. So you have to convince a user. It means that somehow social engineering is required to convince the user to do this activity. I'm going to save it. I saved on the desktop. Okay. Let me execute it from the desktop. So I will run it. So once it is executed, we'll log on again to the Kali Linux and see the result on the Kali Linux, what has happened there. See here. So it's mean that started reverse TCP handler on this and for the 10.10.10. So you can see that if I use the command sysinfo, this command basically get the system information about target. You can see that this is desktop Windows 10 machine. Okay, if I use the command ipconfig, you will see the IP address of the Windows machine. It is 10.10.10. If I use the host name if it is available. No, it is not available here. Okay, let me use the command run VNC. So it will run the VNC viewer for the Windows 10. Okay, so upload the VNC to. Okay, see here. You can see this is the Windows 10 desktop environment which just we exploited. So from the Kali Linux, you can see without having the username and password, just I sent that exploit. When the exploit was executed, so we gain the access to that system. Now we can do whatever we want. So we can monitor desktop, we can create the files, we can create the user accounts, and we can give the damage as was looking for. So this was a small demo how to gain the access to the victim machine using the malware. So you can see the built-in security control of the Microsoft Windows not able to detect such kind of malicious activity. So therefore, in the information gathering, we'll try to understand what security controls are there, what basically antivirus solutions are used. Then we try to identify the weakness. Then we try to identify the way to bypass such kind of controls, and we can gain the access. So this is one example of our hacking. So we have learned that how to compromise Windows 10 using Kali Linux in a very simple way, and such kind of techniques attacker use in the real world to gain the access. And we see you must understand social engineering is playing a very important role here, because if you are not able to convince the user, hackers are not see if I am a victim. Okay, as an attacker has sent the email to me, I'm not going to execute that file. I'm not going to open that link he or attacker has shared with me. Okay, so it will not give the damage to my machine. So therefore, awareness training program, that's important. And attackers, they are very good. He or she is very good in the social engineering. They know that how to convince the user to perform such kind of actions. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this demo. The EC Council is offering a lot of certifications. One of the famous certification of EC Council, that is CEH V10. What is the beauty of this certification? This certification basically has accreditation recognition from the different authorities, from the different frameworks, like NICE framework 100% map, uh, the CEH course mapping 100% with the NICE framework. ANSA, American National Standard Institute, also has given the approval for the CH10. It's mean the content of the CH10, CH version 10, these are aligned with the current industry requirement. And then there is CNSS, the Committee of National Security System, also have confirmed that the content of CHV10 are amazing. It aligns with the industry requirement. So you can see DOD, NICF, and Department of Veteran. So multiple vendors, multiple authorities are there. They have uh, they have given the surety that the content of CHV10 align with the industry requirement. So this is the one advantage. And when you see the job opportunity regarding cybersecurity, so CH is coming very popular keyword for those opportunities. So companies are looking for the people they are CH certified, because they understand the people, the audience who has done the ethical hacking course, they understand all these things very well. So what you will learn during the ethical hacking course, during the CHV10 course. So there are 20 modules. It is an instructor-led training programs, 5 days training program. In these 5 days, instructor will try to cover the 20 modules, and with the live demos like I showed to you. So the first chapter, that is introduction to ethical hacking. So we have covered some part of introduction to ethical hacking during our presentation. We learned that what is hacking, what is ethical hacking, type of hackers, white hat hackers, black hat, and the gray hats, and what is ethical hacking, the different phases of hacking. We have learned some introduction of ethical hacking. Then we have some discussed also about footprinting and reconnaissance. Reconnaissance information gathering, footprinting is basically about profiling the target network. So collect the information and profile the target network. So learn more and more about the target network. Then there is scanning network as well. We discussed a little bit type of scanning. There's a network scanning, port scanning, and vulnerability scanning using the tools, different methods. So you learn in detail. Then enumeration, that is something above the scanning before the attack. Enumeration, that see we got the port number, for example port TT. I tried to browse, it's asking for the username and password. So now I need to prove my identification. I need to prove that I'm the right user to access it. So first phase of basically authentication, that comes identification. So for identification we use the enumeration. Enumeration will help us to identify the user account those are existing on the target machine. It will help us to identify the resources those are accessible or those are available on the target network. So enumeration is another important phase of hacking. It's basically not a full phase, it's a basically part of pre-attack phase. Then vulnerability analysis. I love this topic, and I always recommend to the newcomer, to the student, that focus on this chapter more. Why? Because in many organizations, they're looking for the people, they are expert in the vulnerability analysis. So for the vulnerability analysis, there are well-known tools like NASIS, Qualys, GFL, Vanguard. These are basically enterprise tools, enterprise level tools. The most of the organization, they are using these solutions for their environment, and they need the expert people. They need the people who uh, who are very good in the NASIS or Qualys, so they can basically do some vulnerability analysis, and they can prepare the report, and they can help the organization to fix the vulnerabilities. So this is a very beautiful chapter, very attractive chapter, and this is a chapter that can give you a new opportunity in the market as well. Then system hacking, we will learn about the complete cycle of system hacking. We start with the gaining access, maintaining access, all these things we'll discuss. In the system hacking, we'll learn the different techniques to gain the access, to crack the passwords of what is the rainbow attacks, dictionary-based attack, brute force, malware. So all these things we'll discuss during the system hacking. Then malware, a dedicated chapter for the malware. Here you will learn about malicious activities like trojans, viruses, worms, backdoor, spywares, keyloggers, all these things you will learn during this session. Then sniffing, another very important chapter, because sniffing, if you are good in sniffing, it means that you're good in threat hunting. You are good in the proactive role for the security analyst. What is the basically proactive? What is threat hunting? It means that before attackers discover the vulnerabilities of your organization. So you will discover the vulnerabilities by yourself. Without, you will not depend on the tool for vulnerability discovery. So you will sniff the traffic, you will capture the network traffic, and then from that network traffic, you basically start searching the what is not good for your organization, what your organization was not expecting. So you will highlight that those type of communication, and then you can help the organization to fix or to stop such kind of communication. Social engineering, as I told you that there's no patch for human stupidity. So it's a very important chapter as well, to give the awareness to the user, to let the user know that social engineering, if we're not good, if we're not mature enough uh, for such kind of things, so data could be attack could be successful anytime. Denial of service, this is attack against the high availability. So basically attacker try to make the legitimate sources unavailable for the legitimate users. So while users are trying to access their sources, resources are not available, they cannot perform any business activity. So that will give a big damage to the organization. Session hijacking, another topic that basically, just I will give you an example. Recently, we have simulate MFA compromise, multi-factor authentication. So we have simulate the activity, we have simulated the basic attack against the MFA, and we were able to compromise Microsoft multi-factor authentication token, because token life is 365 days. So once the token was compromised, so MFA was compromised, and we have simulated that activity. So this is session hijacking. It means that you try to log in, your OTP comes to your application or your mobile phone, you use that OTP to gain the access. When OTP is verified, session established, then attacker is able to gain the access to your session. Then there is the IDS firewall honeypot, how to evade IDS firewall honeypots. So that is again interesting topic. And people, they are working the network side, the people they have some background in networking, so they will love this chapter very much, a lot. Why? Because this is all about networking, IDS firewall, how these appliances are working, how these solutions are working, and how to bypass these solutions during our penetration testing. Then web servers, we learn about the web servers like Apache open source and closed source application. Like open source, there's Apache, and closed source IIS Microsoft Web Server. We'll learn about these servers, and then we'll see that how to compromise these web servers. But then web applications are there. We learn about the web application firewalls. So what are the web application, how these web applications are designed, the structure of the web application, and how to gain the access to web applications. SQL injection, attacks against the database, bypassing authentication. Wireless networks, we learn about the wireless network. We see that what are different type of attacks we can launch against the wireless network. Then mobile phone, mobile platform. As you know that nowadays organizations provide the mobile phone to their employees because they need the connectivity 24/7, like especially for the mail access. So we learned that what are different techniques we can launch for the mobile platforms. Then IoT, Internet of Things, we can see that our home appliances are IP based, embedded computers are there, vehicles are IP based, driverless vehicles are there, remote controls, a lot of appliances are available that we can control using the IP. So this is referred to the IoT, Internet on Things, and we'll learn about IoT in detail, and we'll see that what type of activities could be launched against the IoT devices. Cloud computing. During these sessions, audience will learn about cloud computing, the cloud computing models, what's the public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, community based, then what is software service, platform and service, all this terminology we learn there, and what are the threats that we have in cloud computing, and how to prevent, how to stop such kind of threats, such kind of activity against the cloud computing. Then cryptography. This is a technique to hide sensitive information in a way that unauthorized people will not have access, will not able to read or modify. So that's the cryptography. So learn about cryptography during this session. So these are the 20 units covered during the ethical hacking programs. Each unit itself is a big topic, and you will learn a lot of new ideas, new techniques while attending this training program. About the CEH exam, CEH exam basically comes in the two different shapes, two type of CEH exam. One, it's a theory, that is exam code 31250. You can write, this is MCQ based exam. You can write this exam in the Pearson VUE Testing Center or ACC exam portal with the authorized our training partner. And number of questions will be 125. So duration is 4 hours, and it is a multi-choice. There's no practical, but screenshots could be shared with you as a question. Might be from the screenshot you have to identify the right answer. So this is a 4 hour and passing score is 70%. And for the CH practical, this is another amazing lab exam for the student. It is 6 hour practical exam where the remote proctor will basically monitor your activities. There are 20 challenges that you have to solve. Might be challenges could be about scanning, about cracking the passwords, gain the access, bypass the SQL database. So such kind of challenges could be there. So that basically will test your knowledge in the real world. So 6 hour exam, and this exam is happened on iLabs environment, and passing score is 70%. So these are two exams of CH. One is theory, another is a practical. Once you are done with the both exams, so you are basically CH master. Some interesting opportunities in the market for the CH guys, for the people they have completed the CH course successfully. Like you can move towards a forensic analyst, penetration testing, application pen tester, security operations center for the SOC analyst, uh, cyber cyber defender. So there are so many opportunities are available in the market. So once you have done with the CA certification, and there are a lot of opportunities are waiting for you, you can knock these opportunities, and you will see that these opportunities are open for you. So a few recent job availabilities in the different regions. If you look www.naukrigulf.com, you will find only in UAE 1,343 vacancies are there just in during the August month. Then again, Naukri.com, you can see cyber jobs over in the Middle East. Yeah, in the different regions, you can see 3,063 cyber security jobs are available. And then if you look for Saudi Arabia only, you will see that 657 vacancies are available. Only this is for August. Now it is 12th of August, so it means that recently these jobs are added and these opportunities are available. If you're talking about the salary range, another thing that if I go for this field, how much I will earn per month, how I can see myself after a couple of years in this field. So that is another thing that students or audience basically love to know, and they can move forward according to that. So salaries are very good salary for cybersecurities. I have seen the people they're getting more than $400,000 per year. Okay, people they're getting also like $50,000 per year. So different job roles have a different salary range. So average salary for the certified ethical hacker in the UAE, that is 170,000 dirhams, and it's approximately I think that near to 14,000 dirham per month. This is only for the CH certified. So 14,000 dirham per month. It's a good salary if you are living in UAE and you are the starter, you are the beginner. For the beginners, it's not a bad salary at all. An average salary for the job role like security analyst. So normally we consider security analyst that's a beginner level job like L1. The people they do some analysis there, or they basically monitor the dashboards. They do some uh, basic activities, identify the source, identify the type of attack, set the priority of this activity. So for them, under 19,000 dirham is the average salary for a year. For the cybersecurity analyst, that basically for overall cybersecurity, 144, and cybersecurity engineers, 149,000. So it's a good salary. It's not a bad salary at all for the newcomers. The students who is planning to start his career or her career in the cybersecurity, this is right time for them because we're expecting a lot of new opportunities, more opportunities after the COVID-19 situation because you know that company has promoted a lot work from home. For the work from home, for the universities as well, LMS learning management solutions are there. A lot of new deployment for the LMS. Big data centers are are building a big data center for the universities, which is already in progress because universities, colleges, and organizations are promoting work from home, learning from home. So you don't need to travel. You don't need to travel to university. You don't need to travel to your office as well. So new solution will be there, new technology will be there, and there will be new threats will be there, and there will be new job opportunity for the people. because organizations need to secure all these areas. Another salary structure in India, if you see here, I think in India for ethical hacker 499,000. It's a good salary for India for the beginner, not a bad at all, because you have to pay the tax and a lot of other things. Other after doing all these things, you are able to save this much amount, so that is not a small salary. So for a newcomer, so it means you are doing a small investment, and in the return you are getting a lot. And this investment is one-time investment, but so the return will be continuously. So it means for entire career, it will help. The CH course will help you in your cybersecurity career. So there are different paths are available for the cybersecurity. Like for the expert level is like expert, you can forensic analyst, lab director, chief security officials. So that basically required a lot of experience. Like for the beginners, analyst, hacker, like hackers, CH is enough to become analyst. But slowly, when you move to your career, so you will grow by skills, you will grow by pay as well. So security managers, CISO people are highly paid in the organizations. Once you are done with ethical hacking, the next track, the next thing that is waiting for you, the next skill set that is waiting for you, that is the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. This is the field, this is the area where the organizations pay on per hour basis, where the organization basically pay per activity basis. I have seen $50,000 for a single activity as well. For example, organization hire a pen tester, they want to do the pen testing of their network, so they are paying might be 50,000 USD. And activities run only for 3 or 5 days. It is true there are multiple other parties are also the components is also there, but because ultimately the final that the activity will be the VA pen testing. So it's mean the company is paying for the VA pen testing, and what other sources are required, then the team or pen tester allocate by themselves. How you can move forward to the VAPT career. So the EC Council has divided the certification into three parts, like core, advanced, and expert. Core is basically that for the newcomers, the people they just fresh graduate, they have done their computer science degree or like graduation or post graduation degree, and now they're moving toward the cybersecurity, or they have done MS in cybersecurity. So the core area is for them. So like they can go for CND, that is core for the networking security, certified network defender. Then they can move to the CH, certified ethical hacker. Once they are done with these certifications, then they can move to ECSA. Again, ECSA is broken into two parts, two type of exams. One is a theory, MCQs like the CH, and second exam that is ECSA practical. So where the iLab environment will be there, remote workflow will be there, that basically do your will assess your pen testing skills. And then another certification that is threat intelligence analyst. It's another job role for the security operations center. L1, L2 analysts are there. A lot of opportunities available for the SOC analyst. So that CTI basically will help you to get your advanced level skills. So once you are done, you have to move to expert level. So that is LPT, license penetration tester. So this is a master. So again, this is a proctor based exam. The remote proctor will do the assessment of your skills. You have to complete your exam. Once the exam is completed, you have to prepare your report. You need to submit your report to the IC Council. Once your report is approved, so you are LPT master. So these are the three different levels: core, advanced, and expert. And if you see that in the bottom, this track mapped with NIC specialist areas. If you see that, so this track is basically mapped with the NICE framework. So there are different job roles like by cybersecurity, defense analyst, cybersecurity defense infrastructure, okay, instant response, vulnerability assessment and VM and vulnerability management, okay, testing and evaluation, analyze, threat analyst. So you can see that these certifications basically map with the NICE framework. It means that knowledge of this certification is really the interest aligned with the industry requirement. So what are the job opportunities that you can avail? Many jobs opportunities available. Different job roles are there, like information assurance, information security analyst or administrator, information security manager and specialist, information system security engineer or manager, analyst, security officer, security auditor, vulnerability or risk analyst, So these are different job roles that you can target after completing the VAPT track. And currently, the organization those have hired the VAPT professionals, so that Cisco, EY, Microsoft, HP, AIG, Amazon. There's so many organizations are there. They have already onboarded VAPT professionals, so they are doing their jobs very well. They're helping the organization to secure the organizations, and they're helping the organization to achieve the business goals. So that is about VAPT track. Then EC Council has a part academia partners. Academia partners basically these are only the institute like university colleges. Those are partnered with the EC Council, and you can see a few universities are listed here like SNM University, Jain University. Then if you see here, there is a King Saudi University is also in the list, and you'll find Higher College of Technology. It is there. So these are different universities. Basically, those are partnered with the IC Council, and this is under the academy partnership. So academy partnership has benefit a lot of benefits. So these people are a student of these universities get the special discount for the trainings. So for such kind of activity discount registration, how to obtain the discount, you can talk to Talha Jawad. He's a basically manager for academia, and you can write an email to this guy, talha.j@eccouncil.org, and you can enroll yourself. You can talk about the discount. Okay, so the new EC Council Academia track is basically you need to start with the secure user program. This is for the end user awareness program. It is a 2 day training program. This is called secure certified secure computer user, the CSCU. Then after that, the core area that is CND, network defense, then CH, CHFI. This is the basically track for the academia. So to know more about these tracks, to know more about the pricing or the discount offer for the academia, you can write email to talha.j@eccouncil.org. So he will help you in your query. So yes, friend, this is about the opportunity and ethical hacking. So any question that you have, so Daniel will take it from here. Yes, Daniel.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Khan. I hope everyone has had a very informative session. And before we just head into a quick Q&A, I'll just run a couple of polls. So I would request all of you to just participate in the polls by just saying yes, no. They'll be on for about 2 minutes each. And by then, please do send in your questions through the question box so that I can address them to Mr. Khan and then he can give answers to you. And for all those who are asking about recordings being made available, yes, this session is recorded and we will be uploading it to our YouTube channel of EC Council, so you can get it there from anytime. All right, so Mr. Khan, we have a couple of questions. So as you know, there are a lot of students who have been attending these sessions, and most of them want to know, if I complete my CEH certification, I'm a fresher, what would be the job roles that I should look for?
Okay. Perfect. So this is something that everyone is looking for. Like if I'm a student, I just finished my degree and now I'm going for the CH course. So definitely, what job role I should know, what job role should I avail? So there are basically 4 and 5 job roles, or those are especially for the beginners. One is SOC analyst, security operations center analyst. Okay. So after completing CH, your skills are enough to work as a security analyst L1 for the cybersecurity operations center. This is one job. Secondly, you can attempt the system security as well. L1, or you can say level 1 system security and the network security as well. So these are job opportunities waiting for you. Okay, for these opportunities, you don't need to have the much experience in your cybersecurity. So the knowledge of the CH, the certification of the CH, it is enough to prove your skills to perform such kind of jobs. Yes, Daniel. So L1 analyst for the security operations center, system security analyst, and network security analyst. These are the jobs for the beginners.
All right, all right. And there are a couple of other questions coming in for people who are just entering into cybersecurity. They want to know what would be the best way of entering this. Should we do a CH, or are there some other courses? Is a CND better, or is something more basic for them? So if you could just shed some light on that.
I would suggest if they are the fresh, then they must go with a CH. CND basically people that already have some experience in IT. Somehow they are working in IT, they understand network very well, like routers, switches, firewalls. CND course is designed special for them. So, my opinion, my suggestion, the CH is the right choice for them to start their career with the cybersecurity, because CH is covering almost all the areas of information security, like web application, network, system side, okay, firewalls, uh, databases, IoT, mobile hacking, so all these things are included. So it gives you the maximum knowledge of the different areas of cybersecurity. So CH is the right choice for them to start the cybersecurity career. But definitely knowledge they can gain from any certification. They can start from any certification for the knowledge purpose. But if they're specific looking for the career start, then I will suggest they must start with the CH.
All right, all right. There are some questions coming on our VAPT track. So people want to know, after I do a CEH, is it better for me to go to ECSA or should I do, an ECIH? So if you could just, maybe highlight the differences between each
Okay.
or something like that.
Okay, ECSA and ECIH, these are two different tracks. Okay, ECSA, that is security analysis, that is basically track toward the penetration testing. Okay, so this is without having ECSA knowledge, it is very tough to pass the ECSA practical exam. So to become LPT master, it's a very challenging. If you don't have knowledge of ECSA, then it will be a very challenging for the person. I would never say you can't do it. It is possible that you will make it, but it is a bit challenge. There will be a challenge to make LPT master. So ECSA is like it's basically you can say it's attending the ECSA. It will give the edge to become LPT master. So that instead of going directly for the exam, you can do ECSA, then go for the LPT. And ECIH, this is a basic incident handler. Okay, this is how to handle the critical, like how to handle the security incident. For example, if the company is facing malware incident, how to handle that incident, how to manage that incident. So it's basically something about the incident, how to handle, how to tackle the incident, how to manage the incident, how to engage the different resources, what activities we must do to handle the incident. So these are two different tracks. Okay, definitely the knowledge of each track will help in the other. For example, if the knowledge of ECSA, it will help you in ECIH. If you have knowledge of ECIH, it will help you in the ECSA as well. But honestly, these are two different tracks. Okay, one for purely for the analyst. The ECIH is a basically special designed for to handle the incidents, security incident, and ECSA to become a penetration test. So this is a foundation for that.
Okay,
Yes, Daniel.
a couple of questions that have been coming in is how important is it to be certified in these areas? Like, is it important that I validate myself with a certification, or is just having knowledge enough?
Now, see here that interesting question that okay, when you're applying for a job, okay, if someone knows you personally and you just complete the like training, but you are not certified in that. For example, you just finished this training, so you have to prove that you have the enough skills to do such kind of activity. So only the certification exams are there that can give the authority to you that you have the right skills of this certification. Okay, so it is both like having a knowledge certification. So both are compulsory, both are the mandatory, because without having a certification, if you go to market, you are trying to avail the opportunities, that could be a challenge for you, because many companies will shortlist you on the basis of your certification, not on the basis of your the training only. Understand you?
All right, Mr. Khan, I want to thank all of you, first of all, for attending today's session. We hope that it has been really informative. And on behalf of EC Council, I want to even thank Mr. Khan for agreeing to do this, sharing his valuable time with us and his insights and information. I'm sorry we couldn't get to each and every question that you have put to us, but do write into us for the questions that you want, and we will get back to you. We will put the questions to Mr. Khan via email, and we will get back to you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Khan, once again, and thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.